me, ma'am. Is this seat taken right here?
Have a seat.
Oh, thank you. Shelby Hodge.
Deborah Duncan.
Shelby Hodge from Culture Map, everybody. Well, as many of you know, Shelby Hodge has been covering the social scene in Houston for many, many years, and now you're doing that for Culture Map.
That's right.
When we say social scene or society scene, a lot of times people dismiss what that really means in Houston.
Society in Houston is so important. It is the fabric of the city with philanthropy as the underlying goal of it all. This community is so generous, giving dollars, millions of dollars every year to nonprofits around the city. Without that, quote, society, this would be a very sad city.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, it kind of started with Houston's Heart years ago. So Ima Hogg had this great quote.
She had a great quote that said, from the beginning, even before oil, Houston was lucky to be populated with nice people who, when they made money, they gave it to the libraries, the hospitals, the arts, education. And that's still going on today, hundreds of years later. We're really a lucky city.
Yeah. In fact, there was a report that came out that said that in Houston, that our social scene was really, as opposed to, you know, some other places like New York where it can be the plays and stuff like that, our social scene is really set around you're going to a gala to raise money for something.
That's exactly right. It is the thread of the social fabric of this city, philanthropy, that just, it runs, it's the engine that runs
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that you've been to recently.
Yes.
Like the Astros Wives had...
Astro Wives, every year they have a gala at Minute Maid Park, and all the team players put on tuxedos, which is pretty much a first for most of those guys.
Yeah.
and this year they were thinking about getting name tags because there were so many new players,
oh,
because
wow.
so many heads had rolled, but they didn't do that. But anyway, it's a lovely evening where they raise money for the Houston Area Women's Center, and this year they raised $450,000,
wow.
which is great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Houston Ballet.
Houston Ballet Bar, they just had a party last week. It's a great organization, the Young Professionals Group, and it's great for meeting people. They are building the leadership for the Ballet for the Future, and it's a great place to meet people. It's a great mixer. It's the best kind of mixer.
If you're single, get on down there.
You got it.
Okay.
That's right.
Also, you this Saturday at the World Trade Soiree.
Right. That's Hotel Zaza. The Greater Houston Partnership is presenting this evening, and it's going to be a luck be lady, or
yeah,
what is
kind of Las Vegas, night, kind of luck be a lady tonight.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's got it.
We're gonna have the whole Vegas and the whole Rat Pack lookalikes wandering around. If there's a real member of the Rat Pack wandering around, then that's worth the price of admission for sure, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. We talked about the money that was raised, but there was one last year that raised $32 million.
$32 million.
Wow. One night.
Yeah.
One night event.
It's called Disco Legends. Lester and Sue Smith, the city's biggest philanthropist right now, raised that money for Texas Children's Cancer Center in a wild bash. Were you there?
I was not at that one. I was actually out of town at another one, raising money on another one. So, yeah, but oh, wow, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But when I heard the numbers that came in with that, it was like amazing, amazing.
Well, and not only were the numbers amazing, but the costumes that people came up with, from those pink afros and
See,
the disco scene, it was terrific.
I could have just showed up and pulled one of my pictures from the 70s and redid that. Okay, the other thing I want to mention is that when we have these galas, there's kind of an offshoot. Not only the nonprofits that benefit, but somebody's decorating the room. We have Bill Stubbs, who was with us a little earlier. Bill's already started.
I'm the party crasher.
We love party crashers.
Oh, yes.
And Bill, a lot of times it's the interior designers who put that room together, which makes it a memorable experience for so many people.
Well, you know, part of what goes on, and Shelby is always a witness to these fabulous galas.
Yeah.
And you think that it's kind of part of the whole the dressing up and the decorations of the room and the theme of the party.
Some of the things we're looking at right now from Daryl Murchison, who does a lot of these galas too.
Incredible,
yeah.
Incredible. I mean, it's so much a part of the philanthropic edge of Houston. Is that the higher you ramp these things up, the more generous people are.
Yeah, well, people have fun. That's the key. Is you don't go you go back because you're not just sitting through a long speech and a bad dinner. You have what is it? Creative chicken, rice, pilaf, and vegetable medley.
Yeah.
You actually have fun because a lot of these parties strive to have great themes. The disco night theme, where you don't have to necessarily dress up in a tuxedo and stuff. You can have fun in costume and still raise $32 million, right?
Yeah. And you raised a good point about these table decorations and the flowers, because a lot of times you hear people complaining, all that money spent. But hey, that money goes to the florist. It goes to the decorator. It goes to the wait staff, the valet parkers. This is like spreading it around all over. It's a very great thing for the city.
Money
really
is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
It's so much fun.
Thank you. you for letting me crash your table.
Me
My
too.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Shelby, thank you very much. And you can keep up with the Houston social scene. Just go to culturemap.com for pictures, videos, and the inside scoop from Shelby. When we come back, how you can win. Well, we'll tell you what you can win when we come back.